Today I want to give you my top 3 travel tips to avoid disaster. At least to avoid the disasters that I've run into. My very first tip is to pack a first aid kit of some kind. Now, maybe I'm weird, but I have first aid kits for pretty much everything I do. When I go kayaking, I've got a first aid kit for that. There's a first aid kit in my car, and then I always have one in my suitcase as well. Now, it could be something really simple. I think in this one, I have a few Band-Aids and maybe some Neosporin. So I really try to target it compared to what I'm going to go and do. I mean, if I'm going hiking, then I want a first aid kit that maybe has some moleskin and scissors and, thinking about the bumps, bruises, blisters, whatever you're going to run into. But I always have a first aid kit. Of course, you can't have scissors on an airplane. It causes issues. Tip number 2. Always bring an extra pair of shoes. Make sure that they're in your luggage. I recommend having something comfortable that isn't too casual. Doesn't have to be something super dressy. But a couple of stories that I've run into, when I really tried to pack lean, I went through a whole period. Well, I still, unless I absolutely have to, I generally try to not check a bag. So the shoes were always my biggest thing. And so there was one time where I was wearing boots, and these were heeled boots, and they were going to be fine for, pretty much wearing for my whole trip, except for I broke a heel in the airport as I was running to try to catch the next flight. Now, I made the flight, but it was like all crickety. I don't know if you've ever had that happen. Another time I was wearing my shoes like this that I was going to wear on my trip, and I thought that I would be leaving straight from work to go to the airport. Turned out that I got off early, so I was able to go home, change into something more comfortable before my flight, and I left my shoes at home. So I was kind of stuck in a business meeting wearing tennis shoes. And, in either of these scenarios, if I want to go shoe shopping at my destination, great. But if that's not my plan, I want to make sure that I've got an extra pair of shoes. So that is a big tip for me today. The third tip that I have is if you wear glasses or contacts, which is a whole lot of us, make sure that you pack an extra set of contacts. And always bring your glasses, because you just never know. I had one time I was on a trip, and it was just for a couple of days, but I'd taken out my contacts that night before. Well, apparently I missed the container and didn't realize it. So here was my shriveled up little brand new contact sitting on the counter the next day, so I couldn't wear contacts. And I didn't have an extra set with me, and at least I did have my glasses, which was good, so that I wasn't completely blind, and that would have made my trip home really bad because I was driving for that trip. So those are my 3 top tips to avoid disasters when you travel, and I hope these tips help. And to see my travels, check out my website at intrepidkate.com. And if you like what I'm doing, I'll start posting some more videos. I'd love for you to subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much for watching.